It's enough, I think. It's enough, I think.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Green live stream. I'm your host tonight, Edie Arndell, and I'm here with Mr. Pete Karras from Wisconsin. What's going on, Pete?
Hey, Edie, it's nice to see you again, and nice to be back on the show, and always nice to visit with our neighbors.
Absolutely. Yep. You said, what's going on south of the border? I'm like, wait, what?
We seem to think that everybody in Illinois is in Chicago, so It's just like south of the border, but
yeah,
I guess there is the rest of the state, just like
it's a very, very long
northern
state.
Wisconsin. Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like I'm 6 hours south of Chicago, and there's more Illinois underneath me, like further down south.
Okay.
So it's a very long state, probably 8 hours long.
And I'm only 2 hours from downtown Chicago. So.
Oh, there you go. Well, I'm 2 hours from St. Louis and Evansville, Indiana.
Okay.
I'm kind of like in the middle of right there. So, yeah, and I love my little town. But you are running for Secretary of State in Wisconsin. So how's that going?
It's going really well. I think we're right where we want to be. I am the only third-party candidate on the ballot. So I do not have a primary. Well, I have a primary, but I'm unopposed. So that's a good feeling. That's coming up August 11th. There's one Democrat and running, and she's a former state assembly person and a current Milwaukee alderman. So the Democrat side is also unopposed, and there's 4 Republicans running, and they're all fighting for, who can yell that the election was stolen louder.
Oh my gosh! Really?
So that's rather entertaining. Yeah. So.
Wow. Okay.
They're actually, or 3 out of the 4 of them are actually okay people. They're just misguided.
Yeah.
So they're getting the wrong set of information.
They are. And people a lot of times, especially in that position, lack the critical thinking to go find out for themselves. They just believe what their party tells them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And some people, they're so locked into their news source, and they get fed the same propaganda all the time.
I know.
Same can be said for us, but I think we critically think about it a little more. We tend to gravitate towards, lefty news sources. But I try, and I'm sure you do too, try to listen to the other side and try to.
A little like I'm more gravitate towards independent voices that kind of critique the duopoly.
Yes.
So I'm more in that camp. Like I was just watching. I was going to mention this later, but I was just watching Mac Blumenthal interviewing Dennis Kucinich, which got just completely annihilated by the Democratic Party, and talking about the merging our military with Israel's military, which is allowing us to be overthrown, and it's treason, and they pretend like they don't understand that.
You can't make this stuff up. And the scary thing is maybe it'll happen. This is not just a couple nut jobs, screaming for something out of the basement of Congress. This is a movement, and the fear that our legislators have of the Israeli lobby and the Zionists is just ridiculous. You step a little out of line, and they feel like their whole life's going to go to hell, and they're going to be tormented. The power is.
But they won't. It won't. You just might lose your seat. But so what?
So what?
If you're one term and you did a good thing, be proud of that. Be freaking proud of that.
Exactly. Do the right thing, and that's a concept that's lost with both the Republicans and the Democrats.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. There are some people that really want to make society better. And I may even agree with them on a lot of issues, and they get elected as a Democrat, maybe a Republican, but it works either way. And then they show up to work and they've got all these great goals, and then a Nancy Pelosi type puts their arm around the shoulder and said, "You've had your fun now, and this is what we're going to do."
And you're like, yes, ma'am. That's why the Green Party is different.
We are different. We are different.
Because we don't really have that.
I know. And that's something I'm really stressing in my race for Secretary of State in Wisconsin. The Secretary of State position is very unique. We have no policymaking duties. Okay, so we're in charge of things like we're the keeper of the Great Seal of the state of Wisconsin. So that's one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah.
We keep the legislative records and the historical records back to 1848 when we became a state. And we do sit on the Board of Commissioners of Public Lands, which we manage some public lands, and then we loan money to municipalities, and then that money that's earned is funneled back to school libraries. So that's kind of a cool little program.
Oh, that is a great project.
Yeah, it is, but it kind of runs itself. I mean, I'd like to make some changes to that program, to the funding. Right now, every student gets about $70. If you have, 100 students, you get $7,000 in a school district, that sort of thing. And I mean, the way I look at it, right now I live in Muskego, Wisconsin, which is a rather wealthy suburb west of Milwaukee. And, the school districts, if they start a lacrosse team, they just go out and put up a lacrosse field. I mean, the money's here.
Right.
I grew up and my kids went to school in Racine Horlick and Racine Park. And, we were having lead paint chips for lunch. So there's such a disparity there. I'd really like to see it based a little more on needs. The urban school districts and the rural school districts really get the shaft from our school's funding formula in that state. So this is just a little something we could do with that.
Yeah, that's one of your proposals, right?
It is. It is. That is one of my proposals.
Yeah, I mean, I know in other countries all the schools are the same. I don't know why we can't have that here. I mean, we can. We just need to elect people that will do that, right? Yeah. But I wanted to show your website.
Yes.
I really like it. Very nice picture of you.
Oh, thank
as
you.
As friendly as you seem to be. So, yeah. Pete Karras for Wisconsin Secretary of State. Is there anything in particular you want us to look at? I mean, I already love it. So,
we have a news section. We have, which we can take a look at if you'd like.
Okay.
Or at least start there.
Could you click the news section? Maybe.
Well, what it will show.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Getting
we're
back
pretty
to
active with issuing press releases. In fact, we have several that are going out in the next week, and we also post some other podcasts where we'll post this. But the press releases we have coming out, a lot of them that are on there now is we were challenged. Our ballot access was challenged by the Democratic Party.
Of course it was.
And so it was basically frivolous. They tried throwing all the ballots out over a technicality. But what it did was it, caused us to go out and hire a lawyer. It cost the campaign $13,000 to defend it. They did such a nice job and embarrassed the Democrats so much that they withdrew the challenge right before the hearing. So they weren't embarrassed. But Democrats, at least in Wisconsin, one of their main goals is to eliminate the Green Party.
I think that's their goal here in Illinois as well.
Yeah.
I really think that sense.
You have crazy ballot access laws down there.
Thank you. I know.
I mean, 25,000 signatures
minimum.
Minimum, right?
Yeah, and when the Democrats or Republicans want to be on the ballot, they only need in between 2,500 and 5,000, depending on their primary. And we were established years ago, but now we're not established again because I guess we couldn't keep up the momentum. It's 5% of the governor's race, and that's all that ever counts.
Oh.
So if we didn't run a governor,
Right. And then how do you get on the ballot to even run one? I mean, it's almost insurmountable.
Yeah.
I mean, we're lucky it's 1% of any statewide race in Wisconsin.
Oh my God. That'd be amazing.
So that's why we run for offices like Secretary of State and State Treasurer, because
Yeah. So you can just keep that there. Yeah.
exactly. Except in this case, where we're going to win.
You're going to win.
We are going to win.
I can feel it.
Actually, we do have a path to victory.
Yeah.
We've done very well raising money. We've raised, I think, since the start of the campaign, over $50,000.
Wow.
In fact, campaign finance reports are due today, and I just glanced at a few of them before the show. In the last 6 months, we raised the Democrat.
Whoa.
So the parties generally the corporate parties generally do not funnel much money into the Secretary of State race, because they consider it a rather meaningless position. And frankly, it's an administrative position.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives us a little advantage. And we have a very good marketing team behind us. My daughter owns a marketing company, and we've retained her to do some great commercials for us. And we have a real streaming TV plan coming up that we'll be releasing. And I don't know, there may be other green candidates out there. I can't recommend streaming TV enough. When I was also campaign manager for Chester Todd, who ran in Wisconsin's 1st district 2 years ago, we ran, I think we spent $4,000, and that bought us 125,000 streaming TV commercials.
Wow. So
you can do targeting with them. And Halley, my daughter, is an expert at that, at targeting, and we can help some from other people too. So I think we can do a lot digitally with advertising to get us to position ourselves where if we don't win, we can make, we have several goals. One, of course, is to win. We'd also like to finish second as a secondary goal. And we're very confident that we can win certain counties and certain wards and certain cities. But we want to, this whole campaign is about showing the third parties are viable.
Yeah.
And making people feel safe to vote for third party candidates.
Yeah, that's the pushback. Everybody, I talked to so many people when we were petitioning, and they're just like, well, I love everything the Green Party stands for, but I'm like, there is no but. Right. Vote your conscience and let the chips fall where they may. They don't own you.
I know.
But apparently they've just allowed themselves to be owned on some level.
Well, we have the luxury in this race of having no spoiler effect.
Yeah.
Because there's no policy making ability. And most people in the state know that the Secretary of State and the state treasurer positions are administrative positions and not policy making. So we get a lot of people coming up to us and saying, when we were getting petitions and talking to people, saying, well, why don't they just eliminate the position? Well, it's a concept. It's important, and they can't do it. It's funny. There was a constitutional amendment on the ballot several years ago, to remove the state treasurer's office, and which the state treasurer their only duty is like the lost property fund, or something. So there really doesn't have many duties, and
so the comptroller does the work?
Our Department of Administration and Department of Financial Institutions, everything's been sent over there. But, that got voted down. 73% of the people said they want to keep the position. And I'm sure people looked at it on the ballot, didn't know anything about it. And they said, who's going to balance?
What do you want to do? Right? You're like, you want to do what?
Right.
Exactly.
My position is to actually make the position nonpartisan, because there's no reason for it to be a partisan position. We already have the Department of Public Instruction. The superintendent is a nonpartisan. It's April elections, and I'd like to see it move over to that. In theory, we have our Supreme Court elections in April, and even those have become very partisan. their technically nonpartisan position. I think this fits much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have some videos of yours.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen them yet. I think so. Our producer today is Scott. Thank you, Scott. And you want to put that one up and play? And then I'll take it down. There you go. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was large enough on the screen for people to read all the words.
I hope so.
I hope so too. But it's basically, that there's a file on me that the corporate parties have, and I'm not following the rules. I'm not accepting their money. I'm didn't ask for permission to run.
You didn't get the blessing of the duopoly.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
They're not a fan of that.
That's
We're like
the Karas files.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want you to be a fan of us. We want the voters to be fans of us and vote us in, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, so we're running those. I mean, we will be scaling those up, social media ads, and very, very targeted.
Mm-hmm.
But our target in this race is not what a lot of Green candidates would target, because we know that, and we've heard that, Democrats are pretty fed up with the Democratic Party, and Republicans are pretty fed up with the Republican Party.
Yes.
In fact, this whole Trump thing, this whole drain the swamp thing,
Mm-hmm.
it's an entryway for us, a doorway for us to get in and third party candidates, and to maybe people feel, they're just pissed off enough that
Mm-hmm.
they'll finally pull that lever. And we're trying to exploit that on both the left and the right and the middle. The hardcore Democrats are never gonna vote for us. The people who go to party meetings and are glued to MS Now, is that what it's called? MSNBC, whatever they're called now.
Yeah.
And the and some of the Republicans won't either if they're, the stalwarts. But the majority of both parties is open to third party challenge. And, we're not making this about everything. The campaign frames is about how the Democrats and Republicans have failed us.
Mm-hmm.
So, any issue that comes up, it's real easy to come up with how the Republicans and the Democrats have framed us. And, because of that, and because our main platform is to break the duopoly, we've gotten a lot of other third party support. In fact, we just received the endorsement of the Independence Party.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is a lot of the RFK Jr. people.
Yeah.
And some of them still like him, but a lot of them, are not very happy with him after he gave up his race and his independent race. But they saw, we have the same goal as they do, to break the two-party system.
Mm-hmm.
We also have the endorsement of the Transhumanist Party. I don't know if people are familiar with them, but it's basically using science to make for better life and for people to live longer.
That seems like a good idea.
It does. And not too many people, and it's not, transhumanist sounds like they want to put a chip in everybody's head, and it's not.
Oh, no.
It's not that. It's the chip, I guess, is voluntary.
Well, if the duopoly keeps going, they're going to do that anyway, right?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah, and the AI and all that stuff that's going on.
And we have the pirate party behind us too, which is the party that came out of Napster.
I love that.
And yeah, and copyright law and that sort of thing. And we're working on a couple more. But we've built some kind of a coalition. We've had good conversations with the Libertarian Party. They're not able to endorse us because of their bylaws, and I'm running as a Green. But I'll be attending several of their chapter meetings and speaking. And it's interesting. We're getting calls from libertarians asking for yard signs and how can we help and that type of thing. So it's kind of a broad coalition we're putting together.
That's really great.
Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully
because you're running unopposed. I mean, that helps.
Yes.
Here in Illinois, the Independence Party is running governor and lieutenant governor. So, we kind of talked to each other a little bit, and we all went and filed on the same time, same day and stuff. That was fun. But we are running against each other. So how much can you really talk? But they want to keep us all out. You know what I mean? They don't want any of us in. The same woman that challenged our statewide candidates also challenged their governor and lieutenant governor, same woman. So I'm like, okay, I see you.
Right.
Yeah. So just 1% of any statewide race keeps you established in the state of Wisconsin.
Yes.
That's
and we've been successful at that. And it gives us 4 years. So that really helps. It carries through that. So we do not have to petition. If assuming I get 1% of the vote, we do not have to petition to get the presidential Green Party candidate on the ballot in 2028. And I'm sure that's one of the reasons that the Democrats challenged my candidacy.
Because they're thinking about 2028.
Yeah.
And it's one of the main reasons that I wanted us to run statewide, so we could support national in 2028 and have them have an easier time to be on the ballot. So like nationwide, there's more choice. But we did manage to get almost half of what we needed, which is
that's impressive.
Yeah, which is more than twice what they needed. So like we got over double, but you still won't let us do it, huh?
Now, all your nomination papers in Illinois also have to be notarized. That's crazy.
Oh yeah. And we spent the entire day at the library in Springfield, which is where we turn everything in. Basically collating it, like checking things and making sure everything was in the right order. And we have to put them on the hole punch them and put them on the wires in order. So you have to start at the last one. And you have to number every page. Everything has to be notarized. And if anything's crossed out, you have to fill out a separate sheet why it was crossed out and what the page number and the line number is. Yeah. We were there all day.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. How many weeks did they give you to do this?
90 days.
90 days. So that's about 3,000 signatures a week.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if that's correct or not. I just pulled that figure.
It's a lot. Let's just say that. But I'm very proud of us. I mean, we did get halfway there, and my team down here got like 20% or something, 25% of what we got. Something like that. I'm not a mathematician.
That's
easily
impressive.
I can do math, but not out of my head usually.
Because we had 45 days to get 2,000 signatures, and we turned in 2,900. And that seemed like a lot of work.
It was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work. Yeah, it was a lot of work, and I can imagine, that times 10.
Oh yeah, and it's totally designed to keep us off the ballot, so people don't know we're running. And I did 2 interviews this week. One was 2 local stations. One was WDBX, and the other was through the college, Daily Egyptian, WSIU, which is the man that interviewed me first time before petitioning started wanted to do a follow-up, which was really cool. And I said, it's not about Green Party and it's not about independent candidates. It's not about the candidate at all. It's about the voters not getting to see what their choices are. So they're not discriminating against me necessarily. They're discriminating against the voters. It's voter suppression to make the rules different for different parties.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would say that the Republicans try suppressing people from voting, and the Democrats suppress who you can vote for.
So hand in glove, right?
Yeah, they're
and here we are. Here we are. Just over $1.5 trillion for a war budget, and people can't have health care or anything else, apparently.
Right. And it's a budget that never even gets audited.
Oh.
I mean, how is that possible? I mean, how many, and it affects everything else. The environmental damage of war and the military is astronomical. So you have, a president up there and, a Democratic president generally who will get up and, talk about the environment and how we have to save the world. And then, all this money goes to the military and
then they vote for war.
And not only do they kill people, but they ruin the planet while they're doing it. But I will give them this. They have solutions. If everybody just got an electric car, we'd be saved.
No, we wouldn't. Apparently, the Abby Martin movie pokes a hole in all that because our military is the greatest force of destruction of the environment in the world. Yeah. Even if everybody else was perfect. Doesn't matter. I did want to get to the comments. So Alexandria's here. What's up, Alexandria? They are running District 10 against the dreaded Brad Schneider. Dun, dun, dun. Always. I like doing that. Hey, y'all, big fan of you, Pete. Been following the campaign since the early days.
Well, thank you.
Alexandria is kind of close to Wisconsin a little bit, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Grays Lake area.
Oh, sure.
Better than me.
Like McHenry County, I think.
Regular of the show, Brian Grigsby. Last show was really good. Had to watch later. Thank you. We did a live stream from the Buckminster Fuller Block Party, which is a big deal down here. He's internationally famous. He created the geodesic dome, and he was a professor at SIU. So we named a street after him, and we always have a party on his birthday.
Oh, that's fun.
So my chapter had a tent there, and right before we were getting ready to go on air, this really loud band started.
Oh.
I can't even hear the person that's 1 foot in front of me. So I had to sit in the car. I'm glad it was a good show, Brian. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And Brian also says the right side never listens to our programming. They are incurious. Joshua Combs, vote Green Party. Heck yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Anything else I want to show? We got some emojis. Oh, here we go. We have the worst ballot access laws in America. Even elected Democrats have told me. Yeah. And Amy says, good evening. And Pete is so incredible, high integrity with phenomenal grasp of the issues and with real solutions.
Oh, shucks. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good one. It's the climate deniers versus the climate delayers. Forget who first said that. Yeah. I know. They're just doing so many things. These data centers are really kind of scary.
It is scary. In Wisconsin, the legislature, we have a Republican legislature and a Senate and Assembly, and then we have a Democratic governor. And in the 2025 budget, and I should mention that the governor has a very strong veto power. It's a line item veto. In fact, used to call it the Vanna White veto because he can just remove letters to change meaning and that sort of thing. So the governor can pretty much do whatever they want with the budget. Well, when the budget passed out of the Republican legislature in 2025, it gave a couple tax breaks for data centers. One was it made it easier for them to go in TID and TIF districts and which of course affects people's property taxes. And the big one was they gave them an exclusion for sales tax. So all this equipment that they're buying, these millions and millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars of computer equipment, are turning into they estimate $2 billion worth of tax credits this year. And then these data centers started popping up and people started opposing it. And, a lot of people are now out there saying, oh, we have to slow this down. We have to do it right. But the legislature never came in and took these tax credits away. In fact, they never acted in 2026 on the issue. And I think they're off the rest of the year.
Oh, the rest of the year? The year's only half over.
Well, they pretty much work 1 year. And
then they're off the next year.
Well, I explained, I asked my personal assembly representative, and he said, well, yeah, it makes sense because we spend a year campaigning.
Oh my God.
It's a ridiculous system. I mean, it was pretty amazing that they even met this year. Of course, they didn't accomplish anything.
Yeah. Except for tax breaks for people that already have tons and tons of money, and depriving your state of that revenue that could be used for something else.
With that revenue, I mean, nobody wants to piss that money away. I mean, I would prefer
apparently somebody does.
Well, apparently somebody does. Exactly. But the Democrat on the corner, he would like me, maybe some social programs or, whatever, spend it for the good. And maybe the Republican who lives across the street from that person would say, well, we want a tax refund. Right. But instead, we're giving it to Google and Oracle. We're subsidizing them.
Right.
And it makes no sense at all.
It doesn't. And, here we have Governor Pritzker that everybody thinks he's going to run for president in 2028, but he's running for a third term here. And all he wants to talk about is our credit rating. And he's doing the targeted like YouTube ads and stuff like that too.
Okay.
But if I remember right, he welcomed the data centers before, the controversy started. And then we had there was one that was going to be a power plant that was going to be turned into one down close to where I live. And I started sounding the alarm to like all my people, because I know it's going to be massive, electricity, massive amounts of water. It could break the grid, and surveillance. I'm like, if you don't like any of those things, don't vote these people in. So on one side, the Republicans are for it, and they tried to have a secret meeting with American Water to privatize 153 water districts in Southern Illinois, and they got found out. So that meeting didn't happen. So that's on the Republican side, and they're like, "Oh, we just wanted to talk to them." I'm like, "Yeah, right." And then on the Democratic side, we had a town hall. They're like, "Well, they're inevitable, but let's just regulate them." I'm like, "Who says they're inevitable?" Like, wait.
Right.
How about no new data centers and no water privatization? And I literally had a candidate for Congress say that's not a plan. I go, it's where the plan starts. And I'm like, that is a plan.
It is a plan, yeah.
And if you want to run for office, you need to figure out how that plan works.
Tell me one time in this country or anywhere in the world that privatizing water has ever been good for the people.
Can't think of one.
No, I don't think it's. We're talking about water here.
Yeah, people can't live without it.
Right. Exactly. And why should we have to pay through the nose for corporate profits on top of what we already pay for water? We have it pretty good where I'm at because we have Lake Michigan water, and it's fairly inexpensive. But I know, if you don't live by one of the Great Lakes, or one of the major rivers, it gets costly. And then, and then on top of that, you have to pay for the profits and the bad decisions. A lot of the corporate-owned utilities, they have incentives. They're guaranteed a certain profit. Like in Wisconsin, the electric utilities, gas and electric utilities are guaranteed about a 10% profit. So it encourages them to spend more money because the more investment they make, the more money that they make. I mean, and it's the same thing with water utilities, I'm sure, in many places.
Well, it should be. There's some things that need to stay in the public sphere, and that's one of them. You know,
Definitely.
water and electricity. These are things you need to survive, especially if you live somewhere that's too hot or too cold.
Yes.
You can lose. There's loss of life if you don't have those things. So Omniscientifics, I don't know who this is, but welcome to the show. Capitalists don't care about what's good for the people, only what's good for their shareholders and investors. Absolutely.
And we have to change that. We have to be able to write corporate. We have to get rid of corporate personhood.
Yeah.
And then, take the next step and say that in corporate charters, it has to say things like you have to do what's right for society and you can't hurt people. And it's not just about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we do. Oh, you got the guillotine. I'm nonviolent. I'd like to try everything else first. And that's never going to be me. I can't even, I break for butterflies. I'm, I'm like, oh,
Really?
yeah, but there's lots of tools we can use before it gets to that point. And, I don't want loss of life, which is kind of the whole point of wanting water to be, available to everyone. And, I'm sorry, reading the comments, but anyway, privatizing, well, I mean, American Water poisoned the Elk River Valley in West Virginia, and they want to talk to them. It just doesn't make sense. Is any of that going on in Wisconsin?
Well, we have a pipeline we're dealing with that is potentially can ruin not only some of our rivers but the Great Lakes. I mean, there's Enbridge Line 5 has a pipeline going under the Straits of Mackinac, which is right between Lake Superior and Lake Michigan. And that pipeline's 70 years old. And the useful life was 50 years. And that was stretching it. And if that thing breaks, the Great Lakes has a real problem. And the water that's provided, Great Lakes has a fifth of the fresh water in the world.
Yeah.
And we're putting it at risk so that Canada can pipe its oil down through Wisconsin and then back up to Canada, or back to Minnesota and Wisconsin. I mean, no matter whose oil it is, just risks it. It's too much of a risk for us. So we're fighting that, but that's another thing where both the Republicans and the Democrats have failed us. Not one Republican or one Democrat in the legislature or the governor's office would stand up and take a stand on that. Then it just flies through Army Corps of Engineers and the EPA and the state grants its permits. And, they're doing the same. They did the same thing in Michigan. Exact same thing in Michigan.
Yeah.
So
and if you want those, I mean, I'm a little, I'm done, asking them for permission to survive. So, calling your people and telling them this, that, and the other, emailing them, it doesn't do any good. Until that's why we're running candidates. We need to replace them. And you want to get money out of politics, you elect people that don't take that money, and then we can fix it for you.
The reason we need the Green Party and other third parties is when the revolution comes, whatever form that takes, whether we don't know what form that will take, but it has to have an electoral arm, and we have to have that structure there.
Yeah,
so that we can step in and I almost said rule, and that would be a really bad word.
Yeah.
But to be the administrative arm for the people.
Badass Grandma Jill here, water protector. Love it. So I know this person in the chat is saying nonviolence to get y'all killed. That's my personal stance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't control what everybody else does. I don't know what's going to happen, but I want to try everything else before that time. We're not there yet. We have not had a real general strike. We have not divested from things. We have not done our duty yet. So, and we haven't run enough candidates and invested in third parties and independent parties to replace those people that are screwing us over. So until then, no, you do all that, we'll see where it goes.
We need sustainable action. So
Yeah.
when I see these No Kings rallies, people go out and it's almost like a party for a day, right? And then they leave and they say, "Oh, we really changed everything." But the next day,
nothing was changed.
Nothing has changed at all, and we need sustainable.
So I feel like I want to show people my shirt. So
Okay.
Orwell 84. Yeah. That's as close as I get to sports. Sorry, I'm more of an artist type. But in 1984, he talked about that, and he had a whole scene about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 2-minute hate. So they get you together, they get you riled up, and you go in there and you scream at the person you hate, and then you go home and you think you did something, and nothing changed. That's what it's for. It's to vent your anger. So when it comes time to fall in line and elect them again, well, who helped you fight against Trump?
Right.
Well, you didn't actually stop him from doing anything because y'all vote with him,
Mm-hmm.
unless it's performative, and it's still going to pass. Yeah. So we're getting very excited about having the annual national meeting in Chicago.
Oh, I can't wait for it. I'll be there Thursday through Sunday.
Me too. Yeah.
It's going to be great. Got to see a lot of people. My campaign's had conversations with Jill Stein and Butch Ware, and they're on board. So we're going to be making some videos with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exciting.
Good. Yeah. And I'm going to be on an AI data center panel on Thursday at 3. It's also available online. It's gp.org/ANM.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you have one more video that we could play. And
Yeah, let's
talk about that a little bit. Sorry, Scott. We got sidetracked.
He says he wants to be Wisconsin's next Secretary of State. But what is Pete Karras hiding? For decades, election after election, Pete Karras has never voted for a Democrat for president. And he has never voted for a Republican for president. Pete Karras refuses corporate PAC money. He won't even take it from the PACs that fund both the Democrats and Republicans at the same time. What does Pete Karras have against the way the system works? And on his own campaign website in public, where any Wisconsin voter can read it, the Democratic and Republican parties may argue on TV, but behind the scenes, they protect the same entrenched power structure. Wisconsin, can we really afford a Secretary of State who refuses corporate money, refuses to silence independent voices, and refuses to keep his opinions to himself?
If you've had enough of the two corporate parties, I'm your third option. My name's Pete Karras, and I approve this message.
Awesome. That's really good.
That was really fun to put together.
Yeah, it sounds like an attack ad.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of the point. And then people actually listen like, wait, no, that's okay, right? Amy says they're going to be at the A&M remotely. Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Anything else that you wanted to talk about? I think we covered a lot.
We have. It's, the whole point of my campaign is to break this two-party system. Mm-hmm. And we think we can open a lot of eyes with it. We're in a pretty good financial position to run ads like the ones you saw, streaming TV, YouTube, and, do the whole social media thing. I'm also, I'm scheduled to, I think they have me scheduled to shake every hand in the state of Wisconsin besides now in November. I'm fortunate that I had some businesses that I own, a music venue and some other things, and I sold those last year. So I have all this time to go out and do the handshaking. So that's kind of fun. I really think, I mean, we have a small, we need 800,000 votes. And generally in this race, third parties get about 100,000. So our key is to get 700,000 more votes. We did get a setback in that we had to spend $13,000 in legal fees to pay for, the ballot access challenge that we had. But we're sitting on like $26,000 right now, which is a good start. We'd like to replace that. And here's the fundraising pitch. The $13,000 we spent, small donations are going to get us there. And people would like to go to PeteKarras.com and donate. That would be amazing. And that money will be well spent. I have to look at the Republicans and the Democrats running and how they are. They're, unfortunately, in this race, they have limited money. But how they piss their money away. I mean, it's all consultants and, they're still doing direct mail. And they're doing direct mail to people that are going to support them anyway.
So big echo chamber.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and wasting money. I mean, Kamala Harris spent $1 billion and was in the hole.
And her campaign was only a few months long, wasn't it? I mean, think about it.
True. She was appointed to be the candidate.
Yeah.
But she wanted to get Oprah and Beyonce, so.
Right. Exactly.
Because they thought they would ride through on some vibes, Yeah,
that didn't work out real well for them. Maybe they should have talked about an issue.
Maybe they should have agreed to stop the genocide, and people would have changed their mind.
Now I'm going to
allow Palestinians to speak.
Right. Exactly. I'm going to sound like a real old guy, but then back in 1968, Humphrey wasn't doing so well against Nixon. And with a couple of weeks left, he finally broke away from President Johnson, and said, I'm going to stop the bombing in Vietnam. And his polling numbers went up, and he So sometimes when you do the right thing, it works out well for the candidate.
Yeah. And they have been working for decades to make sure that never happens again.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I ask people, I'm like, what is the last thing the Democratic Party has done for you? Can you think of anything? Most people go, let me look that up. I'm like, if you got to look it up, it didn't really do much, did it? You know what I mean? And obviously the Republicans have just went completely off the rails, and they just want a fascist state. So,
and the Democrats,
the party itself,
not individuals, correct? But they had the opportunity. In the Obama years, there was a window where they had 60 votes, a proof margin in the Senate. And did they codify Roe v. Wade?
No.
Oh, yeah, I don't think they did.
No.
Did they pass universal health care? Oh, no, they did corporate subsidized health care.
Romney care.
Romney care. Did they pass all the things they talked about? No, they didn't do squat. The same thing happened in Wisconsin when the Democrats had control of the legislature and of the governorship, and they didn't do anything. They didn't make these laws that really meant things and reversed things, because they wanted things like the abortion issue to argue about.
Yeah, and keep fundraising on, and keep getting elected on.
Yeah,
for eternity. I was talking to a good friend of mine. We get into these long political conversations, and I'm like, keep riding, donkey, like that. Like you can kind of picture, like, the voter getting on this donkey, and there's the carrot. Like, just keep going, donkey. We're going to get there.
Exactly.
You're never going to get there because they don't want it.
No, they don't want to. And how they certainly are pros at duping people.
Yeah, but I will say, talking directly to the public, most people are tired of it. very much so. I would say it was about a 95% of everyone I talked to. Almost everyone signed my petition. And, so I feel like those voices aren't going to get heard now, but we will be doing a write-in anyway. It's the fringe that gets all the attention. Most people, they're done with it. They just want a solution.
It's gotten so bad they can't even, go to Thanksgiving dinner and enjoy it.
Yeah, true.
So.
God forbid, right?
Mhm.
You're dynamic and will bring many folks in the Green Party. Say hi to Jill and Butch for me. Aw. Yeah, we're both going to be there, and Scott
Good.
Free and our governor candidate Griselda Romero,
Okay.
and a lot of people that we've had on the show are going to be there. It's going to be really cool. So
I'm really looking forward. I'm going to meet a lot of people that I haven't never met in person before.
yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
Just warning, I like to give hugs. So, well, if there's nothing else that you want to talk about, I guess we could end it here. And I thank you so much for being on, and you're welcome back anytime, as always. Really want to hear how it turns out.
Mhm.
So if you want to just go forward and schedule whenever, I'm
Okay.
totally cool with that. And you might
Definitely.
get Scott next time. We're kind of taking turns,
Okay.
I like doing interviews one-on-one. I think it's more interesting that way. So it's more like a conversation. Yeah. So
Yeah, and Scott always goes off topic. So now, what corner bar were you playing in on?
and there was
Wait,
something.
what was that? What was that?
I forgot you were here, Scott.
No, he didn't.
Oh,
There was something about the Cubs and something too. I don't know.
no, I'm so excited about A&M. Yes, we'll be able to hang out in person. I guess I could kind of do a little promotion of the BC Being Green night, Thursday night, the big gala I'm hosting now. So that'll be fun. And I'm on a press panel. So yeah, Edie and I are going to be there the whole time.
Mhm.
Green Live Stream is going to cover it live. So yeah, we're super excited.
The Thursday we are.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's also online too. So
Yes.
yep.
Yay.
So
All right,
excited.
I'm going back in the background.
Okay.
Well, great. We'll see you both a week from. My goodness, is that a week from tomorrow?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So everybody go to gp.org/A&M and sign up. You can come in person. They have, food available, lodgings available. Tickets I don't think are that much now. And you can also watch it online. So yeah, I hope to see you all there. And as I always in my show, free Palestine so we can free us all.
Free Palestine. Thanks, Edie.
An uprising, we're rising up. It's an uprising, we're rising up. It's an uprising. Fight the power. It's an uprising.